Hello and welcome to Let Me Be Your Game Guide, a podcast that spends each episode delving into a mystical new video game, exploring its charms and challenges, and helping you decide if it should be next on your list. I'm your host, Emma.
This is Rylan.
And this is Shawn.
Join us for this week's rating episode as we escape reality and enter the metaphysical. For the remainder of this episode, let me be your game guide.
Hello.
And we're back.
We're back.
Kind of to our normal schedule because it's Thursday.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah. And how are you guys doing? How's your brains? How's your physique?
I'm intact.
I think we've mentioned it on the podcast before, but we work for a school district's technology department.
Mm-hmm.
And any of our listeners, you know, those like two people that also work in K-12 technology.
What's up,
y'all? Yeah.
Or have worked.
Or have worked.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got those too.
Yeah, you know that, there's a season for Chromebooks and we're in it right now.
Mm-hmm.
How
Season
many
of pain.
how many Chromebooks are we unboxing?
22,000?
Yeah, 22,000,
Roughly.
I think. Yeah. So, a few.
Yeah. So yeah, the first couple hours of our day have been spent in a chaotic assembly line unboxing each individual Chromebook because nothing can come boxed together.
No, it's not like Apple where they do like stacks of 10 and it's really nice, or 5 packs or something. It's no individual with all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we're a little either loopy or just like lights on, no one's home, I don't really know which way I'm going to go today, but
I'm feeling loopy. I also got 3 hours of sleep last night, so I'm just running on caffeine and hope. So
Nice.
just living on a prayer.
yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Bon Jovi.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay. Well, what game are we talking about? Oh wait, it's my pick.
Oh,
It is your pick. You
my
can talk about
pick.
this one.
Would you tell us about the game, Emma?
I
Yeah.
would love to. So we played Paper Trail.
Ooh.
Paper
Oh.
Trail is this is news to use guys.
Yes.
This is a puzzle game. If you guys have listened to our previous episodes, or if you've played Arranger, to me it was very in that same realm of unique puzzle solving. This game was mostly kind of paper folding in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You play a girl named Paige, and she's leaving home to go to university. And this is just her adventure. And there's a little background plot that you uncover, which we'll talk about.
Wait, she's going to university?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I forgot her name. So
Yeah. Yeah, she's going to
I thought
university.
she was running away from home.
Well, it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both because her parents don't want her to leave.
Oh,
Her parents are very protective, so she has to sneak out of the house and run away to university.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so we're both
Gotcha.
right. Yeah. But so that's about it. Point and click, but you can also
Basically, yeah.
play it on console with a controller, which I did a little bit of both.
Same.
I played on mobile.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
through Netflix Gaming, it's actually free. So you can log
Netflix
in.
Gaming, man.
Yeah, random. It's so random. Just random indie games all of a sudden. But yeah, played it on my phone for a few hours. So yeah, it was good.
Seems like a perfect phone game.
We'll talk about it in this rating episode. But yeah, it did work very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, before we get totally into this, because I kind of forgot, let's plug the podcast.
Yeah.
Don't forget to give the podcast a follow, rate it, review it, however you want to show us love. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/letmebeyourgg, where you can view episodes early as they post sometime on Sunday, a couple days before the episode posts everywhere else, and that is for free.
Free, baby.
Join
You don't
us
have to pay for
free.
that.
No.
Yeah.
No. You can also find us on most socials as Let Me Be Your GG with no spaces.
That's
LET.
LETMABEYOURGG.
That's great.
Nice.
Good job.
You paused and I took it.
No, I had to swallow. I had a lot of spit building up in my mouth. That's too much. I'm sorry, but it happens when I do these intros because
Sure.
I talk for so long without breathing or swallowing.
The spit gauge just gets.
It's that.
It's maxed out.
There have been episodes that I go back to edit and I have to like cut out
You
my
can
like.
hear it.
Not really. It's not that gross. That was probably gross. Anyways. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Check out our YouTube if you want to see any of our past streams. But check out our Twitch if you want to catch us on stream. Every other Thursday, we do a trailer reaction to an upcoming game that we're going to play for the podcast. And then on the weekends, Rylan and I stream. Rylan's been streaming on Saturdays. I stream on Sundays, both 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Nope, I think we're daylight time. Pacific time. Whether it be daylight
We're
or...
on the West Coast, people, so get it together. Figure it out.
It's Pacific Daylight Time, I believe.
I'm still a PST kind of guy.
I've never known that.
PDT.
I never will.
Oh, man. Yeah.
PDT until we spring forward, and then it's PST.
PDT until I die.
I could also be wrong, which who knows?
Email us at letmebeyourgg@gmail.com.
That's perfect. You can also email us at letmebeyourgg@gmail.com. This is the best way to send in game requests. Just make sure to include game request in the subject line so it's easy for us to find. Our last episode, Inscription, was a game request.
Yep.
And we love
from
them.
a listener.
We love them.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. If you're going to do it now, because we're probably in 2026 or getting real close to.
I think we haven't gotten any for a little bit, so we still have maybe a November and December spot.
Oh, well, put your time in now or put your game in now because
It's October. Oh no.
Yeah, we have.
I know what our October one is.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Get excited for the October one. It's gonna be great.
Get hype.
Yeah. And I did skip this over because I wanted the good segue into the email, but you can also find us on TikTok as Let Me Be Your Game Guide with no spaces. Rylan's been making some pretty good TikToks.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it.
It's
Yeah.
a good time. My favorite.
I would
It's fun.
agree.
Yep. Every time we get a text, you're like, I put a new one in the drive. I'm like,
Yeah, I know it. Every time, like every day I get on TikTok, I'm like, oh yeah, no, dang it. Not today, but tomorrow. Yes.
yeah, I'm waiting for the Inscription ones.
I know. I've been so busy this week.
No,
I'm
it's okay.
sorry.
It's all right. It doesn't have to.
We got back to that soccer life though.
Oh yeah.
Hell
That's
yeah,
right.
dude.
Yeah. Rylan's
Hell
been in physical therapy, but you're finally able to play soccer.
played soccer after 4 months.
Oh.
It was glorious. I'm really out of shape.
Oh, it's you'll get back into it quickly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, where were we? I was talking about the game.
And now what you've all been waiting for.
No.
Oh.
Well, we can get there, but I got to talk about the developers first.
Oh, that's right.
Sure.
Yeah, Paper Trail was developed by Newfangled Games and published by Newfangled Games.
Double duty.
Man.
Yeah, it's available on PC, Mac, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series S and X, iOS, and Android.
Dying.
This is another one where you can just play this anywhere.
Anywhere you want.
You can play this shit anywhere, I believe is what I said last time.
Yeah.
Its original release date was May 21st, 2024, and when it's not on sale, this game is $19.99 unless you pay for a Netflix subscription, and then you can play it on Netflix games for free.
For free. I really need to check this Netflix gaming thing first, though, because I already paid for it on Steam, and then I found it on Netflix gaming, so I was like, oh,
lame.
So,
Wow.
yeah, I got it on a deal, but
Okay,
still.
good.
Yeah.
Well, the developers, Newfangled Games, was founded in 2019. And this is a little snippet from their website, but Newfangled Games is a premium mobile PC and console game development studio based in London, founded by Henry Hoffman and Frederick Hoffman brothers.
Nice.
They are brothers. They develop original IP with a focus on artistic, narrative-driven, emotionally engaging experiences. And usually I list out the people that were involved in the game, but I'm just going to mention Henry and Frederick Hoffman, who are brothers. They're the founders of Newfangled Games, as I mentioned. And then Claudie Makela. She is the composer of this game.
Okay,
and I think
cool.
she probably works on their other games as well, because she was on their website. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, so that will be linked in the show notes if you want to check out their socials, their webpage, anything like that. And then we'll also have the accessibility report linked down there. If you need to take a look at that, we get our accessibility from the family gaming database. Yeah. And I'm probably not going to be making my own accessibility reports anymore.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I've done that in the past when I can't find it on the family gaming database, but I don't know enough about it. And the more I fill them out, the more I realize, well, am I even making these documents that I'm creating accessible to people that need them accessible? And then I was like,
good
oh
point.
my God.
Good call.
I know. Yeah. So it just became something where I was like, you know what? I will figure out how to maybe request for the family gaming database to do an accessibility report for us. Because I think they do have the option to reach out to them and say, hey, can you kind of do this and post it? And then maybe if they update it, then I'll add it into the show notes later. But luckily for this game, they already had one. So
Nice.
that will be linked. Yeah.
Thank you to the database. That's a huge help for people
They
who
rock.
need that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really a great resource.
And I don't know if you guys have checked it out, but they have so much information on the game. That's where I get the ratings, and they'll have like other games that are similar, even under the accessibility report. They will have game suggestions if someone, for any reason, whether it be like sight or hearing or any other accessibility need, they'll suggest games that might be better suited for you, which I think is very cool.
Yeah, that rocks.
Yeah, and even like age restrictions, if something is maybe rated M for mature, they'll have options of like, oh, here's a game that's really similar, but it's E10 plus.
Yeah.
It's super cool. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Rylan.
And now what you've all been rating for.
Heck
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
First try.
Nice.
Let's get into our game rating. We take into account general considerations such as length, challenge rating, and replayability. We also consider story and narrative topics, including plot, characters, and world building, presentation topics, including graphics and sound design and music, gameplay topics, including content variety and mechanics, and lastly, we consider the overall value of the game. Yes?
We do.
Yeah.
We talk about all those things.
Let's get started with general considerations, starting with length. How long did it take you guys to play this game? I know.
I have to have full disclosure. I did not finish the game yet.
Also did not finish the game yet.
Don't worry, fam. I finished the game.
Thank you.
I've had such a busy week.
No,
I feel so bad.
Don't feel bad.
And then I left my dang Steam Deck at home for lunch, and I was gonna play it. But I'm like a little over 4 hours in, and I only have like 2 out of the like, I don't know, 10 areas to finish. Yeah. So I'm pretty close.
I played, I think, roughly for about 3 hours, I think. I also just, is the last couple weeks of baseball season for all 3 of my, 4, but 3 of my kids. So yeah, just no time.
How
There's
many?
No time.
No
How
baby
many are there?
baseball.
Yeah, no more baseball. We're all done. I have a life again. It's great. So now I can
back.
actually play games. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So so I got to play for a few hours. So I got an idea of it, but I didn't finish everything. So
Cool. I did like full completion, I think. I like collected all the collectibles.
Wow.
Yes.
What a stud.
yeah.
I know. I played for 7 hours. But I will say I had a whole week off when you guys were working away, and I was just
No, remember I was at the beach for 5 days, and I just forgot I had responsibilities.
I kind of did too.
That happens when you go to
Yeah.
the beach, man.
I don't think I started playing this game until like halfway through my vacation. And I was like, what am I doing? Like I need to actually I can't complete I can stop regular work stuff, but podcast stuff, I gotta keep going.
Yeah. Gotta keep on keeping on.
That's smart.
Yep. The
job.
wheel is always turning. Moving on to challenge rating. We have a scale that starts at beginner, escalates to easy, then moderate, difficult, and then it tops out at expert. I put mine at easy, but I was stuck between easy and moderate. I don't know what you guys think.
I think easy as well. Like some of these puzzles you have to work on them for a little while.
Yeah.
But there's no stress, like you can pick it up, you can put it down, you can just keep trying things. Like there's no like penalties or punishments in this game.
Yeah.
So you really just do it at your pace. And if your pace is like really slow on some levels, like it was for me, that's fine. It also has a very nice hint system where you just get one tiny step of the puzzle at a time, which
Yeah.
is nice. I didn't really use it much, but it's because I'm too proud.
I relied on that pretty heavily. I'll
Oh,
be honest.
good.
I am
Yeah.
a straight dummy when it comes to this. Like origami's not my jam, and so trying to figure this out took me a little bit. I would test and try, but eventually I would use the hint system, and I just try to do like the first step and then try to figure it out from there. And
Yeah.
if I couldn't figure it out, then I'd try the next step and continue on. So
Yeah.
it was super helpful to have that, especially for dummies like me. So yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that you could, use the hints, but one step at a time. You weren't ruining the entire thing for yourself.
Yeah.
You just gave yourself a little push and saw if you could
Yeah.
get any further.
Yeah.
It's not like you're just skipping this puzzle or anything like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
They kind of just push you in the right direction. And there were times where you could brute force it just by like kind of folding every combination. For some puzzles,
Yeah.
others it almost is like there's too many different combinations of folds that you could do.
Did we
but-
talk about what we do in this game, like with the folding and stuff?
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in the mechanics section, I
Okay.
think. Unless you want to talk about it now.
I think we should do it at the beginning so people know what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
At least give a brief description about the game, I guess. I don't think we really did that, did we?
We did talk about it a little bit in the beginning, but basically the way that the gameplay works, you are in a 2D space and you're basically on a piece of paper, and sometimes it's one big sheet, sometimes you're also kind of like have a couple extra sheets on the side that you can walk onto. And these pieces of paper, when you hold a certain button, depending on if you're playing with controller or I think it was like a right click to you can see the back of the page.
Yeah.
It'll show you what the back of the page looks like. And so if you were to fold it in half, you'd be able to see kind of what pieces you would get. So you'd fold a piece of paper in half, and that changes the environment. So it may add like a platform to walk on. And so that's kind of the puzzle solving you're doing, is being able to progress to a certain door, move things, kind of
Collect an item.
Yeah. So by combinations of folds, you can create different paths and kind of make your way through
On
the
the
world.
journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it works. But yeah, so I would say that I agree. Easy it might be moderate for some people if you're not like a puzzle person, but
Yeah, I would probably consider it a little bit more moderate than easy, but I do agree easy because you can, every puzzle you can essentially brute force it by just folding over and over until you get it. So
and with that hint system, like it really scales to where you're at. Like
yeah,
you can make every puzzle gradually easier one step at a time until you solve it, or just all the way, and it's fine either way.
Yeah.
Moving on to target audience, this is where I give the ESRB rating, and moving from our previous 2 rated M games, we're now going back to our E for everyone.
Yay!
This is a E for everyone game, so yeah, kid friendly, but anyone, 90 years old, 50 years old, 2 years old.
I think. I don't know about 2 years old, but I think anyone could play this, and I think it's really geared towards people who are into puzzle games. This is a puzzle game. If you really like maybe even more challenging puzzles, or you're really into, the arranger style or unique puzzle games, this is a great one for that. So
Yeah. And so that's right, listener. This one's for you because you're included in everyone.
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
This game is for you.
But totally, and I think it's just a chill game to pick up once in a while too. Like you having it on your phone, Shawn, feels like it just makes sense. Like I don't know, like earlier today you were telling one of our coworkers what we were playing for the podcast, and he's like, "Oh, that sounds neat." And he just installed it on his phone. He's like, "That seems up my alley." Just a little puzzle game, have in your pocket.
Yeah, so we got someone already playing that game too. So it was really cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it was. I think that it's a very cozy game. It's in kind of the cozy gamer realm if you're looking for
cozy
something.
puzzle. Yeah.
Yeah, and the music is really calming. We'll talk about that later in the sound design and music section, but just if you're into cozy puzzle games, I think that this is for you. And if you haven't checked out Arranger yet, definitely go check out Arranger as well.
Arranger is so good.
Yeah. We did a previous episode. Oh, what number was it? 10?
Something. It was a while ago. It was
look.
sometime last fall, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last fall or yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
A ranger, a role puzzling adventure.
Yeah, I feel like I got a ranger a little bit better because it was just more linear, I guess. Like the folds, I don't know what it was. It just really messed me up. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say this game, I cannot always wrap my brain around it correctly.
Yeah.
Some brute force
Bruce Ford.
brute force was required at some points for me.
Let's get into replayability. Do you
Yeah.
guys think that this game is replayable? Because I don't.
not really. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I haven't finished the game, so I really have no skin in the game here. But I don't know. I don't think it, for me personally, I don't think I would replay it.
Yeah.
So I think for me, there's nothing about this game specifically that is like, oh yeah, I want to play this again.
Yeah.
Not like a ranger for some reason.
Yeah.
But I do think that if you are the type of person that likes this style of puzzle game just on your phone, I could see this being one that you just like reinstall in a couple of years and play through again, just as you're like, kind of idle, on the commute before bed kind of thing for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Because I've definitely had mobile games like that where I just like, oh yeah, I'll just install this again and play it, a little bit. This could be that sort of thing for somebody, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
definitely just right after finishing it, I was like, oh, okay, I need a break from this because my brain hurts.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean it's a bad game. A lot of times we play games that I love, but I'm just like, I couldn't replay it immediately.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But we're going to move into story and narrative next. And this begins our... Yes.
I would just say, like, you're not going to remember how to do these puzzles.
Oh,
No.
God, no.
So if you like these puzzles, like, it's going to be like a new puzzle every time because you're not going to remember.
There would be times that I had to undo the puzzle
That you just did.
that because I wanted to get to the like origami. So
Yeah.
you do find little origamis as like bonuses throughout. I'd have to undo it. Couldn't even remember how I got there. Like I would get lost trying to undo.
Yeah.
Like I'd solve it and then again resolving it. I would be like, fuck if I know how I got there. Like
Yeah. Like you have to backtrack a decent amount and you're like, I don't know. I don't know how.
Yeah.
how did I get to this island? Like, where is the fold that gets me back to the start? So annoying. But let's move on to story and narrative. This begins our numbered rating section. We rate things from 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. And we're going to start with plot. Who wants to talk about the plot?
There wasn't a plot, really. I mean, a little.
She ran away from home to university.
And
her brother went missing.
Yeah,
is missing.
Yeah, her brother went missing.
Well, no, but didn't he come back?
Well, he did come back, but then... Oh, God.
We have to talk about the rest. We can't have to go. We can't go through the plot at this step because that's for next episode, the whole thing.
Yeah. We'll talk about it next episode. But there was a plot.
There was a plot.
There was.
Yeah.
It's only a 2 because it's just
That's
a
what I
background for the puzzles, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
kind of
know.
what I felt too. That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say is a 2.
I also gave it a 2. It just I felt like the plot itself seemed a little shoehorned in, especially the story about the brother. It was interesting, but I didn't really know how it fit into the story other than supporting why her parents were so protective, but I feel like it could have been explained in a different way.
So the plot didn't have anything to do with playing the game.
Not really.
So like my motivation was just to continue walking forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree. The plot is a 2, which is unfortunate because puzzle games like this, I feel like, can really shine if they have a good plot.
Yeah, I think so too. And I would agree with you, Rylan. I think it was puzzles first, and then they were like, oh shit, we need to put a story on this, and they just kind of fumbled together and put a story in it, and it was like, it's not. It kind of fell flat.
Which I think is fine though too. Like it doesn't have to be a crazy good plot. Like I don't think you're looking at this game, playing this game because you're like, yeah, this plot. I mean, you're just doing those puzzles. If you like the cozy puzzles of it all, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's just not really a plot.
Yeah.
That matters. So
For sure.
Moving on to characters. Who wants to start with the characters? Rylan, you want to start?
yeah. So her name's Paige, and this is a book about folding or the game. A book. Wow. It's just a pun.
Yeah.
And I thought you'd appreciate that, Emma.
Mm-hmm.
But then her brother's name is Oscar, and I don't.
I was gonna say that. Well, it seems like his thing because you kind of learn like her thing is like she can kind of fold the pages and kind of do these cool things. And her brother was drawing pictures, and so he could kind of draw his way into these worlds, which I thought it was interesting. Yeah, her name was Paige. And then Oscar was not a pun.
Yeah.
Not even like art or
No,
something. Yeah.
Arthur.
Oh man.
So our main character that we play as, she walks around. Her name is Paige. She's 18. She's an astrophysicist in training. Her hobbies include journaling, origami, and bending the space-time continuum.
Thank you so much for writing that down.
Yeah.
That's great. Because I do
That's
remember
all
that.
off the top. I memorized that.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Thank
For
you so
sure,
much
yeah.
for not reading that out of your notebook and just saying. Yeah. So that's basically the only main character in this
Yeah.
game. But you do have a bunch of little side characters that you meet. There's almost like a main side character for each
Little
chapter.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that they were so like charming. I thought they were really cute. They didn't add anything to the story, really.
Yeah.
But I just really liked them. So I gave the characters a 3.
It kind of brought the world to life a little bit too.
Yeah.
To have like people there.
And
Creatures.
I felt like it was also like a little bit of a reprieve from the puzzles. Like you got a half second to kind of like breathe and like, oh, this is, just fun, and they're fun, and they have little stories that they're doing, or little, projects or things that they're working on, and you're kind of almost in the way, it seems like sometimes, a lot of the time. So so but it does add a little bit to the story and to the game. So
Yeah. I would say like half the time you're helping them and half the time you're annoying the shit out of them.
yeah, for sure.
It's like
Yeah.
a 50-50.
Pretty much everybody's like, what the hell? Who are you?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they all kind of have these cute little like voices.
Oh my God. The voices were the best.
They were
Yeah.
so cute.
Shooba-dooba-dooba-dooba.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought they were worth a 3.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
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 I agree with 3.
I feel like we're on the same page.
Oh my. What is happening where Emma's making these puns? Who are you?
I'm tired.
Nice to meet you, tired.
Oh, goodness.
Bonk.
Well, yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. I wrote
Yes.
down the voices of the parents.
Oh.
Mom, boo boo ba doo boo boo. And the dad, that's all.
That's very accurate.
I wrote it phonetically.
Wow.
Nice.
That's so, yeah, no, it's very accurate. The characters have these just like really unique semi voices, but they're very funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yep. But we've talked a little bit about the world, so we'll move into world building.
Yeah.
Who wants to talk about the world? Shawn?
For my brief time, my few hours playing the game, I would say that there is a world, but I didn't find a lot of like detail in it. You kind of just go from space to space. So I would give it a 2. There's not like a lot of lore or those it's really meant for the puzzles. That's what the game's about. It's not about all this other stuff. So I give it a 2. Like there's a little something there, but not really. So yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of whimsical. Like you go places and there's little whimsical people, like there's like kids that are in an abandoned cake ruins or something. And
Yeah.
there's like a bird watching woman. This is just the characters again, I guess, but it's like
The frog kids. The kids are trying to catch
yeah,
the frogs.
they're talking about there's like the flower that eats kids or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just you just kind of go through it. Nothing is like you don't delve into anything. It's just
No.
kind of a
No.
whimsical little land you're going through.
Yeah, no history or lore or any of that stuff. It's really about the puzzles. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also on the same. Oh my God! I almost said it again on accident. I agree with you. I would also give it a 2, even though I loved each level having its own little theme. There's only really one that kind of gives you a little bit of like lore, and we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
But even then, it was just kind of like, oh, this is just a place that you're moving through.
Yeah.
And then you're moving along. So yeah. Did you also agree with the 2? or-
Yeah, a 2 or a 3, somewhere in
Yeah.
there. And it's not, yeah.
Give it a 2.5.
Sure.
Yeah.
Split it.
Yeah. Split the diff. Nice. Well, we'll move into presentation and start by talking about graphics. I
High point.
loved
Yeah.
this game shined with the graphics. I gave it a 5 because I just thought the way that it looked, I can't even, it kind of looks like those like the art that you would do when you cut out pieces of paper to make the characters. I know that I'm describing South Park, but that's not what this looks like. But it's very simple. It's like almost pencil, like colored pencil drawn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just looks right out of a storybook.
It's very illustrative.
Mm-hmm.
It does look very nice, and the colors are like soft but vibrant.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense, but
it's beautiful.
It's a really good looking game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. And even with the different folds and things that you have to do in the game, it's still very vibrant and fresh, it feels like.
Yeah.
So that's really nice.
And I do really appreciate like the variety of places you go to. So they really show off like a lot of different like color palettes, and all the characters are like kind of interesting looking, have little details that are nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, worked really well. So I give it a 5.
Yeah, I'm there. 5.
Yeah,
Let's
cool.
do it.
Same. Yeah.
Look at us, just agreeing all the way down. Have we agreed on every single one?
I was a 2.5 on the other one, so I'm off.
Oh, my bad. Never mind.
Jeez.
God, no.
Porky Pig.
I thought you said poor kid for a second.
Oh no,
that too.
That poor kid. Can't get it together.
Yeah,
Well, moving into sound design and music, this one also was really close.
I really liked the sound design and the music in this. It was really good. Calming, kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it was whimsically, I don't know, fairy tale-y.
And the sound you got when you were folding the pages, like that kind of like that crinkly like folding of a page, and it just sounded good. It was like crispy, but not. It was so good. I gave sound design and music a 4. It was gonna be a 3 because the music itself was just kind of nothing special. Like it was nice, but then I liked the credits song. It was kind of like a beautiful song that had some lyrics to it. So
I thought like the music itself was a little bit boring for me. But I appreciate the sound effects. Like there's different noises. Like is there a noise when you're like pushing the rock or like moving the statue? Like, kind of like I don't know, I like that stuff. But I think at some point when I was playing on my lunches, I'm just like, okay, turn on rap music now.
Which I think is why it would be good as a phone game too.
Totally,
because you're not missing out on a lot of music.
Except those voices. You need those voices.
True.
That's
for sure.
That's the killer.
The shining star.
But it's a 4 for me as well. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'd probably go 3.5 or 4. Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. Easy peasy. And we'll move into gameplay, starting with mechanics. I rated my mechanics purely on playing mouse and keyboard because I know, Rylan, you said you played a little bit of both. And going from mouse and keyboard to controller made me so mad. I didn't like it at all.
So it's interesting because I actually played on the Steam Deck for the controller part, which also is a touchscreen. So I kind of got 3 different
did you
options.
use? Because I was playing on my Steam Deck, but I didn't use the touchscreen at all.
Yeah, so I probably played at least an hour each way, honestly.
Oh, wow.
And I don't even know which is the best.
Huh.
They all kind of work. My right click on my computer does my mouse. I just need a new mouse. It doesn't work super consistently, so that didn't work great. But I don't know. The touch, I didn't have a way on my Steam Deck to see like the reverse. So I'd have to like use the actual button for that. I'm assuming there's just like a place you put on your phone.
Yeah. It's just on there, so it's not an issue.
Yeah, how was the touchscreen on the phone?
Good. The only thing that I had an issue with is like, let's say for example, you're on a path and there's like a turning wheel that you have to like stand on, and then it turns and then you go onto another platform. Well, sometimes you have to like bring stuff across that. And when I would try to do that, sometimes I would click the boulder continuously and it wouldn't get the platform. So I had to like click on the other side, hold it for a second, then move it around. So it wasn't the end of the world. It was just like, oh, that's kind of annoying. And then I just figured it out, and it wasn't that big of a deal.
I experienced that as well. And then it's like, okay, if there's too many things there that it wants to press on, I can just use the controller on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I liked using the mouse and keyboard, because you could kind of do most of it with mouse because it was point and click. You would just like click to walk somewhere. And I found when I switched over to controller, I had to use the stick to move the person around. And they actually, like, I had a lot of trouble controlling her. Like, she would walk like too far up or too far down. It was really sensitive. Maybe I needed to adjust my like sensitivity. I didn't really check that out. But
I think maybe my favorite way to play was using the stick to move the person and then
Yeah.
using my hand to touch and fold the pages.
Interesting.
Which was really nice. Just I like that I can move her while folding the pages.
That was nice.
Which
yeah.
I think is
Yeah.
maybe the only way that you can do that. I don't know if you can like send her on a path if you click her to go somewhere and then move the page.
You could also use the keyboard to move her around.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So
I
I
just
would
like
do
that
that
format.
sometimes too. But yeah, so I gave it a 4 playing mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
I would probably be lower if I was rating on controller, but I thought I would just stick to mouse and keyboard and say that was a 4 for me. It was almost seamless.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a 5 for me. At least I just had so many different options to a way to play it. Even on the keyboard, you can rebind the keys.
Oh.
Which I did. I made it instead of right click. You made it shift instead.
Oh, nice.
Which was comfortable and felt appropriate. But I also just think like, I don't know. I liked the different puzzle things that they added in. Nothing was like crazy. They didn't throw too many things at you at once. You kind of like entered an area. They introduced a thing. You kind of got used to that. I don't know. I liked it.
Cool. What about you, Shawn?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good outside of that one issue. That's the only thing that I had an issue with. And on the phone, it's all just touch. So there's no like digital joystick or anything like that. It's all just by touch. So you can move her by touch. You can move your things by touch. And that worked really well. The only issue I had was that one thing. So I'd give it a 4. I think it was pretty well done.
Cool.
It's just, that one issue. So
Sweet. Well, we'll move into our last number rating section here and talk about content variety. I feel like with puzzle games, sometimes content variety can be a little tough.
Yeah.
I actually thought they did a pretty good job with adding in. You get a lot of different puzzle mechanics as you progress through the levels.
Yeah.
And they recycle old ideas.
They do that too.
Yeah.
But they pair them with new puzzle dynamics, and I thought it was well done. So I gave it a 4, mostly because every level you go to, you're having to kind of learn a new mechanic, which for me kept me excited and engaged, even though it was kind of repetitive in the functionality of puzzle solving.
Yeah, I think I agree. There was a lot of like new stuff introduced throughout the game. I think it's more like a 3, maybe a 2 for me, because even with the new stuff, I felt like I was still like kind of doing the same thing. It was just like, okay, now I can't fold it as far, for example, or like I can fold it differently, or I need to like, this is kind of just like a moving platform. But it didn't like make me really like stop and figure something out or change the gameplay really for me. I didn't feel like that. So
That's fair.
but yeah.
Yeah, I think I would agree with a little bit more with Rylan. I didn't feel like, there was definitely a gradual change within the puzzle structures and how that developed over the game, at least for my few hours I played. But yeah, I kind of felt like it was just like next step, and you just kind of like kept on going. So I don't know. I think I'd give it a 3. There was definitely some variety and growth throughout the game, but I didn't feel like it was like, oh, we're switching all these things up. It's kind of just the same mechanics, and you're just going through the different puzzles.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
Which again, though, I do think works for this. Like if
It's-
you look up the game trailer, you see what you're playing. If that looks cool to you, you're gonna get that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great to pull out, do a couple levels. You're not gonna have to like memorize like, oh, which weapon do I switch to? Like, how does this work? It's
Yeah.
pretty straightforward, and you just play level to level, and you can do it.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think that's fair. But yeah, I liked it. And before we talk about our final ratings, we're going to talk about the value. And just as a reminder, in most areas, on most platforms, it's $19.99 when this game is not on sale. I guess technically, if you're playing Netflix, you're paying for a subscription, so maybe $19.99, however much
However much it is now. Yeah.
Netflix is, but I would count that as free. So if you have a Netflix subscription and you're playing on your phone, it could be free. But let's talk $19.99.
Sure.
Let's talk about it in that light. This was, I said yes, but I feel like it was just by the hair on its chinny chin that I said yes, because it kind of felt like a short game. Even though I played it for 7 hours, I was like, I want more. And maybe it's because the plot didn't progress in a way that felt rewarding when you were finished. It kind of just felt like I was solving these detached puzzles. But I'd say yes. I would say
Okay.
if you're really into the cozy puzzle solving games and you're looking for something new, $19.99 isn't terrible. But it's cutting it kind of close for me.
So earlier I gasped when you said what the price of the game was, like earlier in this episode, and then I played it off cool, like I was thinking of something else.
Oh, uh-huh.
Because that just seems so high to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I mean, you do get between 6 and 10 hours of gameplay. If you're really into cozy puzzle games, by all means, that probably will fit your bill, and you could pay the $20. I'd say catch it on a deal anytime, though. I mean, I feel like $10 or less is where this game really should be at, and maybe even a little less than that. I mean, it's now free on Netflix. So,
okay, how does that work? So, like, you download the game. Do you have to like sign into your Netflix account?
yeah, so you download the game, and then once you select the game, it goes to your Netflix account and says sign in with your Netflix account. And once you do that, then it just acts like a normal app.
So, are there just a bunch of games? Because I went to the App Store while we were playing.
Yeah.
And I found this game, and it just says get with in-app purchases.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it appears to be free, but is this like a gotcha thing? Like, how many gotcha games does Netflix have?
I don't know. I need to look in Netflix's catalog and really determine
Yeah, they
that.
have like
I don't
their
know.
own, their own little catalog that you can look through. And I'm sure once you stop paying for your account, you just lose access
That's
to those
wild
games.
to me. It's just wild that it like presents as kind of free. I guess this is
Yeah.
get, not install. I don't know I don't know how to use the App Store. Never mind.
Yeah, interesting.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, this game it does feel tiny. Like it feels to me like a phone, like an app game almost. I was gonna make a joke, but then I said not to, so I'm telling it anyways. And I was like, oh, Emma keeps choosing app games for us to play because you chose Reigns that time.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is nothing like Reigns. How dare you?
Oh, okay. Well, no, I mean, it's just like, I think that the phone is a perfect platform for this.
Sure.
Mhm.
It almost feels like it was made with that in mind and then like almost ported to other things.
Yeah.
Which I think is okay. I feel like $20 is enormous. Like
It
like
is.
$7,
Yeah.
you know, or I could see this in the App Store for like, $5 or $2 even.
Yeah, maybe I'm.
A $2.99 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, for sure.
Because that feels like the space that is living in. Like, get your money, but it's, people are installing this on their phone. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got it. I don't remember. I got it on a deal on Steam. And I'm not like unhappy about whatever I paid. I don't remember. But when you said $20, I was like, really? Yeah.
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 But that's just me.
Well,
There's a lot of great art there.
I think
Yeah.
I would pay $20 for it. Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But again, it was kind of like cutting it pretty close. And you
Sure,
guys are right.
sure.
I can see it from both sides. I think I really enjoyed the graphics and the sound design and music of the game. I played probably 90% of it on my computer, which was just a beautiful experience. And I, for the first time, didn't play with my headphones.
Oh, how was that?
It was really nice.
Yeah.
Because it was a game that Hayden was working and didn't mind the music.
The music, yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
it's calming. It's chill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
it just,
ambiance music, really. Yeah.
It wasn't disturbing at all, and I kind of just didn't want my headphones on, and
Yeah.
so I played it through the speakers on my desk, and it was actually really nice. So
Nice.
I enjoyed it. Final rating wise, I gave it a 3.7.
Oh, nice.
I was kind of comparing it to Arranger, which I gave a 4. And I did not like it as much as Arranger, but I did feel like every time I played it, I was like calm and relaxed. And I was just, I don't know, it was just like a really fun space to be in.
It's a different experience, I think, than
Yeah.
Arranger too, because Arranger is more narrative and like, I don't know, it's kind of quirky and a
like
little bit
goofy.
silly.
Yeah.
So, but this is like a chill, like relax, do some puzzles, go on a little journey, like totally, similar like premise almost, but a different like vibe for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to give my final rating as a 3. I didn't play it all the way through, so there is that. Maybe I just didn't experience the whole game. But I'm not good at these games. I suck at puzzle games, so it takes me a while to get them. I'm a hacky slashy shooty, like that's my thing. So it's it just wasn't exactly my thing, but that's okay. Still played a lot of it, still enjoyed it. It was still fun, but I would give it a 3.
I don't think your rating would have changed if you finished the game.
Okay.
I think that you got probably a good feel for how you would enjoy the game. The plot wouldn't have changed your view on it. I think that it's, even though you didn't finish, I think that's an honest.
Yeah.
That's not surprising to me.
Yeah. I think I enjoyed Ranger a lot more too because of the story aspect. It feel like there was progression and there was things happening and that you could follow. And like this was kind of like just endless puzzles until you were done. And
Sure.
Yeah. I mean,
definitely.
if people like that, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, like a 3.3, I think. This was a pleasant game. I feel like maybe one of the nicest things, but also what is damning about it is just that this game is just very like non-abrasive. Like this is just like a smooth experience. Like even when I can't solve the puzzles, I'm not frustrated. I'm just trying things, you know?
Yeah. Or you hit that hint button and just kind of get a little push.
Yeah,
You're good.
totally.
That's me all
and
the time.
Just kind of like flow through it and
Yeah.
just, chill. But to me, like it doesn't spark anything. Like there's no zest. There's no like, it's not like especially fun. Like it is relaxing. Like I do enjoy the puzzles that I'm doing, but that's why like, I don't know, like it's really hard for me not to compare this to a Ranger.
Yeah.
They both have just excellent art. They both are like, you're playing as a person on like a grid based map that you manipulate in weird ways. But that game just has like that charm for me, and that like, I don't know, this game's missing on that. But I do think like this game has a relaxing vibe that is valuable. Just don't like it as much.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody could hate this game.
No.
I don't know if anybody's like loving it either.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I definitely felt that while I was playing. It wasn't. It felt like, just no spark. Like there wasn't anything that was like, oh, that's what I want. I want to play this more, or do that aspect of the game more. Like it was just kind of like, okay, we're doing the puzzles. So yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, this concludes the rating episode for Paper Trail. Please join us next week for the discussion episode as we dive into the details of this game and all its hidden gems. If you haven't played the game yet and this sounds like something you may be interested in, I hope you find time to play it before tuning in next week. Please go and give the podcast a follow, rate it, review it, however you want to show us love. You can email us with any comments, questions, or constructive criticism at letmebeyourgg@gmail.com. You can also send us game requests if there's something you want us to review. Just make sure you include game request in the subject line so it's easy for us to find. You can find us on most socials as Let Me Be Your GG. That's LetMeBeyourGG. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And you can find our TikTok. We are Let Me Be Your Game Guide with no spaces. Our Patreon can be found at patreon.com/LetMeBeYourGG. Thank you so much for listening. We can't wait to see you next week. And thank you so much for letting me be your game guide. GG, y'all.
Bye.
Also, a Ranger's also $20. $19.99. Same price.
We just talked for an hour.
Oh my god. Man, are we gonna have Cornhole in the future?